So let's take this example here. We have the sub with 4 corners. We have a sub x, sub y. We can get the corners by using sub width and sub height and adding it or subtracting it to sub x and sub y, which represents the top left corner of the sub. We have a couple depth charges here, and I just wanted to point out that some of you guys might think your algorithm would be fairly simple. You just get the distance from the depth charge to the corner of the sub, and if it is less than a certain distance, like the blast radius of the depth charge, then you got a hit. And so I just want to kind of show you that that's not the case. Let's take a look at this depth charge here. Let's assume that the distance from here to here is exactly the distance of the depth charge, like the amount of effective distance from the depth charge to hit a sub. So this one would register a hit, right? Let's take a look at the second depth charge. We do the same distance formula. This is farther down, farther of a distance than this one here. So this one would not register a hit, right? But it should, because this distance here, let's call it D, is greater than this distance here, right? Which means if we drew a circle around this depth charge, that circle would hit the sub. And then let's say we have all these depth charges and they're all registering the distance to the top left corner of the sub. Well, that algorithm is incorrect, or maybe incomplete as well, because if we have this depth charge 3 and we take the distance out here, this one's definitely not going to register. But if we did draw a circle with radius d around the third depth charge, you would see that it did hit the sub. So you got to kind of think about your algorithm a little bit more closely so that you can get accurate readings.